If there's something we can all agree on here in the United States about our culture, about our identity, I think it would be that we all realize how polarized things have become. Tribalism. You're on this side or on this side. You're conservative or you're liberal. And whatever camp you're in, you have to fully align your beliefs and views with that political party, and at the same time look at the other side, whichever side it is, and think you're wrong, you're stupid, you're immoral. That's how things have become. And it's funny because people assume that their opinion matters. And this is something I've talked before about on my channel. People assume that their opinion actually matters. Social media, I guess, enforces that. What you think and you believe matters. I'm here to tell you it doesn't. It matters to you personally and how you speak to people and how you act out your life. Personally, what you believe matters. But outside of your own head, it doesn't. You can either make more friends or enemies because of your opinions, but as far as it actually affecting anything, your opinion doesn't actually matter. At 40 years old, I have definitely come to that conclusion, and I'm at peace with that. But I want to share a quote that I recently came across, and I love this. This is, I guess, my favorite quote of the year. Bill Bullard. Here's what he said, quote, "Opinion is really the lowest form of human knowledge. It requires no accountability, no understanding. The highest form of knowledge is empathy, for it requires us to suspend our egos and live in another's world. It requires profound purpose larger than the self kind of understanding," end quote. Another way I've heard it said is that you can't win a debate with facts, which is really funny to think about. Like, but it's a fact. 2 + 2 is 4. I know that. Everybody knows this. Well, if someone doesn't believe 2 + 2 is 4, they think it's 5. You can prove to them all the ways 2 + 2 is 4. But ultimately, you can't prove them wrong, even if it is a fact. And that's crazy, but that's how we're wired. And I live my life assuming I'm not always right. I assume at least half the time, whatever I think about something, I assume at least half the time I must be wrong because I've been wrong before. There's a quote from The Big Bang Theory. I've actually never seen the show, but I know the quote where maybe it's Sheldon. He says, "Well, don't you think if I were wrong, I'd know?" Now imagine how many people go around thinking that way. Don't you think if I were wrong, I'd know? No. If you were wrong, you'd probably be convinced that you were right. You'd clone yourself an army and take that army into battle, believing that what you believe is definite. There's no way you could be wrong because you would know it. You'd be smart enough to figure it out yourself if you're wrong. And let's face it, there's irony there because most people can't be convinced against what they strongly already believe. Whether it's a religious belief or a dietary belief or political belief or sports team, whatever it is, most people can't be convinced against that because of identity protective cognition. But ultimately, I love that opinion is the lowest form. Empathy is the highest form. When you are disagreeing with someone, you can't convince them typically with even common sense a lot of times. The only way you can begin is to gain their respect. And that's by finding out what you actually can agree on. What is that common ground? That's how it actually works. But I love that quote, that opinion is the lowest form. Empathy is the ideal standard. Your comments belong right here.